So this is my lesson 3 for this video, for this series, Java series. Okay, so what is data types? So data type is nothing, it's just the way of it's just the way how Java interprets a particular identifier or a particular variable. Okay, what does it mean is, like, if you have integer a, int a equal to 10, so what did Java perceive is, okay, this is of type int, the data type is int, so I need to store uh, I need to allocate this much memory to this variable, and this variable is gonna type int. So the operations that this variable can do is addition with other float or int and like that, and it cannot store a string value. Suppose if we try to add, if we try to assign string now to it, it will on compile time itself it says no to it. Okay, so that's what data type is. So also now there are two kinds of data type in Java. These data types are of two types. One is primitive and the other is non-primitive. Okay, so primitive data types are examples are like Boolean. This has fixed size of 1 byte, that is true or false. Okay, like that we have char, int, float, or double, like that. And in non-primitive data type we have class, string, Boolean, and we also have like enums, interface, like that. So these are primitive and these are non-primitive data types. Each primitive data type has a particular size. Okay, like I told, Boolean has 1 byte. Boolean can hold 1 byte, and integer can hold 4 bytes of data. Okay, and if there is a requirement of more than 4 bytes of data inside the integer itself, so you can use long. It holds 8 bytes of data. Okay, so that's the difference between primitive and non-primitive. So these primitive data types should always contain a value. It cannot contain null. Okay, but this non-primitive data type can have null as well. Okay, and these primitive data types are stored in stack. Okay, and these primitive data types are stored in heap, and the reference to it would be stored in, like, the reference of this value would stored in stack. Okay, since now you can see like the reference is stored in stack but the actual value is in heap, so when you try to access this value, then it will first check the reference from the stack and then go to that reference and then return. So this will take this would, the operation would be slower in this case, but here, as the value is directly in stack, the operation would be faster in this case. Okay, accessing is faster here and accessing is slow here. Okay, here the compare by value will work. Like if you have int a equal 10 and int b equal to 10, then if you try to do a equal to b, then it will result true because it will directly check from stack. But in this case, this comparison would be little tough. So if you have, suppose, if you have integer a and integer b, if you start these, we also say wrapper classes, 20, then, oh sorry, 10, and if you try to a equal to b, it will result false because the reference of both are different. Okay, but if you try to do a dot value equal to b dot value, then it will result true because here it will check value. But simple simple comparison is uh, only by reference. Okay, so this is about primitive and non-primitive data types. There are so primitive data types has fixed size, but non-primitive data types are not a fixed size, and this the size gonna like the Java get the size at runtime itself. Okay, it depends on how, if you have a class A, then what's the size of this class would depend on this data member, like what all data member you have added in it, what all functions you have added it in. So based on that, the size of this non-primitive data type will get. But primitive data type will have fixed size. Okay, so uh, that's about this. So guys, if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments. And if you have any suggestions on these videos also, then would happy to hear it. You can add it in comments as well. And happy learning. Bye.